Thursday, October 17th, market analysis, Stan Ehrlich, 9:51 California time, and about the middle of the trading day, 6:30 to 1 o'clock California time. We have the stock market indexes and then the futures. Tomorrow, I will again detail the history of the October lows, which so far are not developing. We only have 2 weeks left. Exactly. 2 weeks plus 1 day. Friday is the beginning of November. So we're in the middle, basically, of October. We are making new highs, not what I was expecting. At this point, I was expecting to be way down here at 5470-ish or even lower. And that was because of the initial sell signal on October 1st that worked only for a day or two. This market has been and still is at the moment extremely strong. I'll go through some ideas as to why we could have something different happen, but all of those ideas in the last couple of weeks have been not correct. So, new high for the E-mini this morning, new high close possible. We're right about the previous high close. Usually, if you make new highs, you want to close above the previous highs, and we're not there at the moment. So that, if we go down a little bit more, and the more lower, the more bearish it starts to get, could develop. But I'm not going to get any sell signals. We didn't get up to 75 or higher. We came extremely close, but close doesn't count when you're in code. So we'll see what happens. I am looking for a move down. 2 weeks to go. We could still have a very sharp move in October. It's just not developing yet, despite a variety of indications that it coulda, woulda, shoulda, and it didn't so far. 1 minute chart made the high, had a correction, starting to make its move back up again. It does not look bearish at the moment. But again, if we start to collapse here, we could end up with some really good reversals. Next, we are overbought this week. So that means on the SPY, we could get a red sell signal. If you get below yesterday's low, it doesn't look like it's happening. Next, we got the detail on the SPY. Opened with an upside gap, came down, closed the gap, turned around, and is now sort of rallying, not acting bearish. Next, QQQ. Similar circumstance. Got overbought earlier this week on Monday, gapped up, possible upside exhaustion gap. Tuesday, closed the gap, looked really bearish, new lows for 3 previous days, new low close for 4 previous days, and yesterday made another new low but closed around unchanged, and today we're up significantly. Now, the NASDAQ, the QQQ in particular, and the NQ could be leading the way down and could be topping out, and I'm watching it more or less more closely than the others for telltale leading signals, maybe, but it's just not happening. Just not happening. Next, Russell. I'm at the NASDAQ NQ. Same story. Resistance is stopping it a little sometimes, but not as much as you would hope for if you're a little bearish like I am for a correction. I don't see it. Not overbought, except going all the way back to September 27th. Came close. Not there. I'll scream bloody murder when I have to, but I can't because it's not happening, despite my expectations and the history of the October lows. Doesn't guarantee a thing. I've said that many times. And then the NASDAQ 1 minute. Just not happening. Okay, the sell signal we had on the YM Tuesday is stopped out today with a loss. Not happening. And I keep saying that occasionally, sometimes, oh, I don't know, 30% maybe. We have sell signals that fail, and then the second, and maybe even the third one does work out very well. So they are oftentimes part of the topping out process, but not necessarily the highest high. So we're out, lost a little, continue to wait, could get another sell signal because we're overbought within the allotted past number of days. Not happening. Got a unusual large amount of zigzagging in here for the moment, but still right up there near the highs. Looks like it could make new highs and keep on going. Russell in resistance, overbought, prime candidate for a bearish engulfing red ER sell signal, but it has to get below yesterday's low. Not happening. Yeah, most of it's done. We got the higher high than yesterday. We're in the overbought condition and we're in a resistance area. So that's a combination I love, but you gotta have the red signal in order to follow the rules. Otherwise, you got no track record you can trust historically. Next, Russell, 1 minute, looking a little bit more bearish than the others, but again, not good enough, but better. Now, interest rate futures. Bonds and notes, I've been very hot to trot on lately. They have performed great. Today, we're down a lot, 43 ticks, actually matching the low on Wednesday and coming very close to a new low closing. Now I want to see first, of course, the new low closing, and that would be just a little bit lower, let's say under 120, and when we're 120.02, a few ticks away. Second, closing below the previous low, and that was 1914, 119.14 to be exact. Yeah, 119.14. And then we're getting much closer to my exact price level and point in time when I think interest rate futures were going to turn around the 18th of October for the notes or bonds. Anytime now, basically, because we have been oversold and a rally. So if we don't make new lows, or if we do and it comes back right away again, the bottom processing, the bottom development may have started. And there's a chance that that could have happened. Notes, whoops, went too far. Notes, same thing, and we are still short the ER3 that got short the day after the sell signal on September 17th, a month ago. We're still short ER3 the day after the sell signal. We got stopped out of our ER1 overnight yesterday on the rally, but our stop has been lowered to here by me this morning because we weren't out. That's all fair and good. If you're not out, you can play around with your stop a little bit, but never move it in the wrong direction. Never increase your risk, never decrease your profit. Always try to lock in more profit, less risk, less loss every time you move your stop. And that's exactly what my automated ER signal system does, period. So there's my stop now at, say, 1225, 112.25. I might even try to lower it a little bit more if I wanted, but there's not that much point in it. If we start making new lows and or new low closes, then I might lower it a little bit more. But we're on track here. I just want to get down into that price range below 11.15, 111.15. Then I'm in the price range and the time frame for a bottom in notes. Bonds have already happened. They could turn any old time. And of course, both will turn at the same time. Next, crude. Now remember, we had a sell signal on all three energies. They've worked out extremely well. We're still short crude. My stop is right here, probably tight enough 71.22, 69.66 at the moment. New low for the trend down. New low close almost below the previous lows, right there. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. No problems whatsoever. Not even close to oversold. We could still get down to 66 approximately and even lower and maybe get to oversold conditions at that point. And I hope I'm still short going all the way down there. That'd be fantastic. Next, we sold short at the high of the move on the heating oil. Also, ER3 kicked in 2 days later. We are still short. Oops, it looks like we got bumped out today. ER3 short position took a profit today near the rally high. We're out. Great trade. Don't cry over spilt milk. I can't turn the clock back. I can't change the stop at this point because we're out. I could show you what it would do if I had changed my stop before it got hit, but that would be kind of like cheating unless I inform you that I did exactly that. Well, we'll see. Probably not. We're in a support area. I don't know. I'll leave it the way it is for the moment. I like what I see, though. Looks like it's going to go lower. And we sold short on the high day on natural gas. Remember, anytime you see green body or a red body, when you're running ER signals, that means you got a buy or a sell signal. And ER1 scalp and ER1 overnight gets in the trade, boom, that day, immediately when it turns red or green, during the day, not waiting for the close, not waiting for the next day. The moment it changes from white or yellow to either red or green, you've got a ER1 trade, both scalp and overnight if you choose to run both strategies. You could run the scalp by itself and only scalp. And you can run the overnight by itself and only have overnight trades, or both. Next, we are still short. New low close looks probable. This is great. Next, gold. New high for the whole trend. Likely a new high close also. Bullish. What can I say? This is not acting bearish. I do not see anything to be concerned about in terms of bearishness. The sell signal worked for a few days. It was okay, but now I've got to be neutral to bullish, period. I'm not sure how high is up in this particular case. We're way into new high ground. Sky's the limit, supposedly, which is never true, of course, but bullish. Gotta say it. Silver, not quite the same thing, and that does worry me that there's a discrepancy here in precious metals. And platinum is the same thing, and there's platinum. Going back to silver, resistance levels might stop the rally as it's done already 2 or 3 times before, time frames before. So looking for a sell signal, looking for a top, not overbought, not happening yet. I'm waiting. Platinum is pretty much the same damn thing. Not overbought, in a sell resistance area, not doing all that great with today's range near the low, around where it opened, after making new highs by quite a bit. It pulled back significantly. No comment. I'm waiting for something to develop that's I can hang my hat on. Next, high-grade copper sold short on the high day, ER1, sold short 2 days ago, 2 days later after the sell signal day, and that was September 30th. We are still short ER3 overnight. That's turning out to be a whopper of a trade. Our stop is right there, did not get hit. New low close, starting to break out below the support area, and that could cause a free fall. We're not that close to oversold. I think this could drop off very quickly and sharply, but if it turns around here, you already have an outside trading range, and you already have an engulfing. but it's not bullish, it's bearish. So an engulfing bearish implies lower levels. If we end up with a higher close, it's going to imply somewhat of a rally, and then I'll probably get stopped out tomorrow, I guess. Next chart, soybeans. Oversold, keeps coming down, new lows, not in a trade. We're probably very close to a bottom. Keep your eye on this for a buy signal. Soybean oil, nosediving, almost a new low, not quite, but we're higher on the day after today being lower than yesterday's low. Could have a bullish engulfing, but it's a little bit too much to ask for. Yesterday, we got stopped out with a small profit on our previous ER3 overnight. ER1 did very nicely. ER3 overnight has done very well, got stopped out yesterday. Today, I'm still bearish, looking for new lows, coming down to previous support area or new lows. Meal, soybean meal, oversold 2 days, now rallying. So, minor new highs for the last couple of days. I don't think this is any kind of a major trend change. How high is up? Well, frankly, there's a lot of resistance at the 320. That's my first stopping point, maybe, because the trend is in my favor. The trend is down. You also cannot rule out this broad double top potential, but we'll talk about that if it starts to get below 295. Well, I'll talk about it before that, but we get close, get down to below 305, and then I'll start that topic about the broad double top and the downside objective. 295 is the bottom, 355 almost is the high. That's 60 points. 335 would be the downside objective, approximately. Pretty damn low. 235, not 335, 235. Yep. Okay. Next, corn. Nice sell signal, not quite the top. We're still short both. The ER1 overnight, that's our stop. Close, very close. ER3 overnight, the stop is a little bit further away. Both of them are locking in a very nice profit. I'm looking for lower levels, but we were oversold for a couple of days. And you know how close we are to a bullish engulfing ER buy signal? We're super close. Yesterday's high was 406.75. Today's high has been 406.75. That means one tick higher today would create a green bullish engulfing buy signal. Now, we don't get out of our shorts because we get a buy signal, but it is a reason to lower your stop probably, if you can. It is a reason to be concerned, but that's not the way the strategy is written. I've seen too many buy signals during a short position that would have caused me to get out of my short and maybe go long, and they didn't pan out correctly, and I wished I would have stayed short. That's the reasoning behind staying short. My stop is close. It'll take care of it if the buy signal works. The only bad thing about it is I won't have a new long because I'm not going to be long when I'm short at the same time. You can't do that. Separate accounts, but you shouldn't. Next. Wheat. Well, not much to say here. Overbought, resistance stopped it a couple of weeks ago, beginning of October. Minor new lows recently for a week or two. Looks like it's going to continue to work its way lower. Bearish, probably going to take out 363 and go lower, and maybe even take out the whole trend lows, and that would be getting below 521. So pretty bearish here. Maybe another 70 cents lower, but at least part of that I do expect 10, 20, 30. Next, cattle, new low, in support, neutral RSI. I think it's going to pull back more. And here's an example of the sell signal not being the highest high. We got stopped out the next day with a small loss, but it turned around because of resistance and overbought conditions. No signal. Without a signal, we're not in a trade. You can do what you want with this information, and of course you will, but that's up to you. Obviously, even if I tell you I got a signal, it's up to you to follow it or not. Next, hogs, new high, in a resistance area, not particularly close at all to resist to overbought. So I think this could work its way a little bit higher. Support held pretty well. All the way back to the E-mini again. It is hanging on to a couple of points, or 21 in case of E-mini, higher on the day. No particular sign at the moment that it's about to hit the dust. And there's your spider 1 minute. And there's your QQQ 1 minute. Don't see it. And here's your 1 minute NASDAQ. You have a great day and profitable trading to you.